how to deal with physical fatigue whenever you're studying a language and actually practicing that language in your speaking. And so how am I to tell you this? Well, I have been studying English for 4 years, I have been studying Japanese for 2 years, and since I am a collectionist athlete, I consider myself a disciplined person, and I want to help language learners who want to actually get disciplined. And so the first point that we're going to be talking about is, in most of the cases, physical fatigue is actually not that bad. And what I mean by this is that you can literally take a break of 20 to 30 minutes, and by doing this, you will be able to study the language, to keep like practicing the language, right? To keep practicing the words that you need to practice in order to be able to speak, right? Now, the caveat to this is that if you are not really that used to the sounds of that language, for example, if I were to learn English for the first time, actually I'm not used to the fucking sounds of the language because they are really different, right? Or, for example, let's say that I try to learn German. Of course, the sounds are actually really different, and because of this, I will be struggling, and even if I take a break of 20 to 30 minutes, I will keep mumbling my words after the break, right? But if it's a language like Japanese, if it's a language like Portuguese, right, which are language that the sounds are very similar to Spanish, then I will, if I take that break, it will be like kind of enough because like I already can imitate the sounds. I just want to imitate like the intonation. I want to imitate like some kind of differences in the sounds, but like the sounds are really similar and I can literally imitate them without really that much problems. So for you, if you're an English speaker, I don't know languages that have similar sounds to English. I'm kind of guessing that German is kind of similar. I know for a fact that German has some words from English, but I don't know really that much if the sounds are really similar to German. I actually don't know. I don't know. Maybe you know some languages that are similar in the sounds to English, but like I don't know. And so that's the point. If you take a break of 20 to 30 minutes with a language in which you can kind of pronounce the sounds, it will work. But if you are not used to the language, like for me, for example, I can literally read aloud in English for 2 to 3 hours. But after that, I just literally mumble my words. And so it doesn't matter if I take a break, I will keep mumbling my words, right? Because the words in English, the sounds in English are very different from Spanish, okay? And so there's something also here, which is that reading aloud is very different from speaking with people. And so whenever I speak with people, I actually can take some breaths, and so I can literally speak for 5 hours, 6 hours in English. It doesn't really matter. But like there's not going to be that much occasions in which you're going to speak for more than 3 to 2 hours, and so without like taking pauses or something. Like the only times in which you don't take pauses when you speak is just literally when you read aloud, and that's it. And even then, you take pauses to like drink something or do things of the like, right? And so what I will tell you here specifically in summary, if you aren't used to the sounds of the language, right? If you can kind of pronounce it without really that much problems, I will tell you, okay, take a break of like just 20 to 30 minutes. And if you're not used to the sounds of the language, I will tell you, okay, literally just wait for the next day. Now, there's something which is literally, maybe the problem is not your mouth, and the problem is not that you're not used to the sounds of the language. Maybe the problem is that you don't know how to take that fucking break, right? And so what I will tell you here is take that break with something like meditation, with something like taking a nap, with something like talking to your father or your mother in your native tongue, of course, because you don't know for a fact that if you speak with in your native tongue, you don't get that tired, right? And so what I will tell you is that literally get a good break. Don't get a break with TikTok, don't get a break with Instagram, don't get a break with YouTube videos. Well, depending on the YouTube video, you can actually take a break. I mean, if it's a podcast, it doesn't give you that much dopamine, but still, I will tell you to get a break with something that is natural. Go to your backyard. I don't know what you have in your backyard, but literally just watch the leaves, flowers, whatever thing that you have in your backyard for 10 minutes. And by doing that, you will be able to have a good break, and you will be able to concentrate more on the thing that you're doing, and this will make you able to concentrate at fucking pronouncing the word and avoiding that physical fatigue. And so that's it for the video. Be sure to keep me like, subscribe, all of those things. Bye.